Hello, Squirrel Tribe. Good morning. So it's been just over 24 hours since we've seen each other. And in those 24 hours, a lot has occurred. The first of those things being the pro-Palestinian protesters who stormed the Harris Walls event yesterday in New York City. The protesters were throwing smoke bombs. There were mass arrests underway by the NYPD. Basically, the left are eating their own is what this comes down to right now. And the DNC next week, August 19th through the 22nd, is going to be very, very interesting. Here's a little bit of video footage of the pro-Palestinian protesters and the NYPD trying to get them under control, calm them down. Tons of people outside of this Harris Walls small meeting. Wasn't like a big thing. It wasn't a rally. It wasn't an event that was supposed to be a lot of people. It's supposed to be like this small gathering of Harris and her campaign people to maybe eat dinner and discuss what's going on. And instead, it turned into a lefty shit show, pretty much, which, you know, I don't even know where to go with the pro-Palestinian protesters, because the problem is a lot of people are protesting things they don't understand, and a lot of people are protesting things they do understand. You have both sides of the coin on this whole thing, but the pro-Palestinian protesters are the same ones who I believe interrupted I think it was Detroit rally where Kamala made her, you know, her angry mom speech. Basically, I'm talking. If y'all have something else to say, blah, 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 blah. And then because that went over so well, they made sure to have the same kind of people interrupt her next rally where she had notes on how to respond to them. I don't know if you guys noticed that, but the next time it happened, because of course it happened again after it worked so well the first time with getting ratings and views and headlines made about it, more protesters ended up at the next rally. And when she was getting frustrated, she looked down at notes to figure out exactly how to say the right things. The woman has no thoughts of her own. Everything is a note or a script or something on a teleprompter or something on a piece of paper. She cannot speak on her own, which is why she's on the cover of Time magazine, yet did not give a Time magazine interview. She's followed by reporters all friggin' day long. She's got journalists around her all day long, and yet not a single interview has been given to any journalist or reporter or anything like that. She has yet to do any sit-down interview. It's been over a month. Has it been a month? It's not been a month yet, but I feel like it's almost there. I think it was July. What day was it when Biden took his name off the ballot? I want to say July 22nd, but I feel like that's the wrong day. So I'm not 100% positive what day it was, because a lot has happened since then. But in that time frame, Kamala Harris has yet to do any kind of interview. And to me, that speaks volumes on how shady the whole situation is. But I just, you know, it's absolutely crazy to me that we have a presidential candidate who never won a primary to get onto the ballot, has won no polls to be where she is, has done no interviews whatsoever, and is, according to the left, basically like the third coming of Jesus. And it's absolutely crazy to me that this is where we are. Now, I want to let you hear this. So this is off Charlie Kirk's channel. I still don't know what it's supposed to be called, on X. And he says his team visited with Kamala Harris supporters at her rally in Phoenix and asked them to list some of Kamala's accomplishments. And of course, their answers are pure gold. And we talked about this previously. There has yet to be anybody who can list an accomplishment of Kamala Harris. Karine Jean-Pierre, KJP, at one of the press briefings or whatever they're called, where she stands up at the podium and lies through her teeth, one of the reporters asked her, hey, you know, what has Kamala done as a vice president? And she couldn't say anything. She kept saying how her and Biden were a team. They were a duo. And it's like, well, as a duo, they sucked. So why do we think that as an individual, this woman's going to be any better? Because we know she's not. But I want you guys to hear this. Let me see if I can get this in the beginning. It's kind of long, just so you're all fully aware. It's like 2 minutes long, but maybe we won't listen to the whole thing, but we're going to listen to some of this because it is definitely pure gold.
Trying to find out from the attendees what Kamala Harris's greatest accomplishment has been as VP.
I mean, honestly, I'm not too into politics. I'm just here for the vibe. Becoming the first female vice president.
So becoming the VP is the best accomplishment?
Yeah, absolutely.
Being a good person.
Being a good person?
Yeah. She's I don't know. She seems really good for women.
Harris is there with the energy. She has a lot of enthusiasm, so it's important to get behind her.
What is Kamala's top accomplishment, do you think?
I can't say anything right now. second.
Crickets for Kamala.
Her top contributions to policy or policy as VP.
I wasn't in on the policy making decisions with President Biden, so I don't know.
Our favorite policies. Oh my gosh. See, I wish they would tell us more about that because I honestly don't know. I know she's done some good work with immigration, even though they say opposite.
What do they say?
Where?
Well, what is it? She's the border czar.
The fake border czar.
That all these immigrants are coming over, to cross the border right now, which I don't think they are.
People have been saying that Kamala is a border czar, or whatever that means. Is there an issue at the border? Has Kamala done anything about it? Or was there not anything to do about it, and so they're just kind of making things up?
So I don't think there's an issue with the border at all. I feel like, yes, illegal immigrants are coming to America, but that's what America's all about, is to come to America and live that American dream, because America isn't just for the whites. It's not just for the blacks. It's not just for the Mexicans. No, it's for everyone around the world. We're supposed to be a country, and it's causing crime.
Look. These are the people who are going out to vote for the next president. Not a single one. She's done great things for women. Ma'am, name one thing. She hasn't really done anything bad for the border. Yes, she has. Like literally the last 3.5 years, her job was to secure the border, and wide ass open border, and people just streaming on through like it's nothing. Like, I don't understand these people. I'm here for the vibe. She has enthusiasm. Bro, that's what you're voting for, is enthusiasm? Shit, I'll go out there and jump around on a stage and woo-ha. You gonna vote for me then? Like, do I get to be the next president because I'm enthusiastic? Why? Why is this where we are as a country? Like, we have these morons with the ability to go out and vote on a topic that is going to impact every single one of our lives. Like, I don't think people truly understand what happens when a new president gets in. It will literally impact your life, whether it's for the better or for the worse. And so having informed decisions before you go out and vote really does make a lot of sense. Do I agree with everything that Donald Trump did while he was a president for 4 years? No. Do I agree with everything that Biden has done for the last 4 years? Hell no. Out of the two, which one of them gave me a better living life? Donald Trump. I could afford groceries much easier than I could afford gas much easier than healthcare was easier. Just in general, the housing market was better. Literally everything was better under Donald Trump. Doesn't mean you have to like every single policy that the president puts into place. Nobody is going to like every single policy that the president puts into place. But you also have to remember, it doesn't always come down to the president. It's not always up to the president. You have, look, I'm about to mess this whole thing up. House and Senate have their whole thing too. And each state has their own bills and laws that they pass. Not everything is under the president. And we do have to remember that. But under the current president that we have, I don't know any single person that I have spoken to, and I've spoken to the left, the right, the middle, the everybody, the illegal, the legal. I talk to everybody I come across, and I have not met a single person who says that their life is better right now under Joe Biden. Not a single one. And yet those same people that say that their life is not any better, it's actually gotten worse. I've had to work more jobs, more hours. My pay has been cut. Groceries are harder to afford, the school system or my kids or blah, 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 whatever. And yet they're going to continue to vote for the same group of people that have them in a situation where they're like, oh, well, I have to sell my house because I can't afford the property taxes on it anymore because property taxes have doubled and tripled in a lot of places. I can't afford my home anymore because of insurance on it has doubled or tripled over the last couple of years. I can't, go out and buy a car because the cost of a car is ridiculous. I can't afford an electric car because I can't afford to charge the electric car. Like all these different things. And yet here we are almost on November 5th, and there's people going to Kamala Harris rallies because I like the vibe. Bullshit, bro. Like, the vibe is not the reason to vote for somebody. You want to go to a rally for the vibe, cool. But please make informed decisions on November 5th when you go and vote, if you're even going to vote. If you're showing up at Kamala Harris rallies for a free Meg Thee Stallion concert or a free hot dog and chips and a soda, I got a lot to say about that, but I do have to censor myself a little bit because sometimes I get a little carried away and YouTube says, And so we don't want that today. At least I don't want that today. Maybe a little bit later. Side note. I spoke to you guys a couple days ago about the plane crash in Brazil and exactly how I thought that it was not a normal plane crash. And I said then and there that it was shady, and a lot of stuff has come out about it since then, including the people who were on the plane. I do have a video about that, but it is going to be over on Patreon. There's a link in the description if you guys want to go check it out. It's over there, because YouTube, I could not get it through the check system. It kept telling me no. It would not let me put the video through. Maybe because I am, again, highly opinionated, and we're giving out facts that mainstream and the higher ups do not want people realizing and understanding. There are certain topics over here on YouTube that for some reason, when you try to spit truth and talk truth, they're like, no, we can't let that through, especially when it has to do with health and things like that. And the people who are on board that plane have a lot to do with your health and my health. So I could not get the video through. I threw it up over on Patreon if you guys want to see it. If not, no harm, no foul. Now, this last one that I have right here for right now, because like I said, a lot has gone on. I just want to share this with you as a reminder. Insurrection Barbie on X basically mimics how I think and how I feel and the way I talk. And what is written here, I'm going to read to you. I could not have said it better myself. So listen, it says, Kamala Harris, when we've talked about this, Kamala Harris was offered to have an interview with Elon Musk on X. She declined. She was offered an interview to go along with her Time cover. She declined. She refuses to sit down for an interview with any of the major news organizations, even though they are very friendly and are all voting for her. Every single one of the major news organizations is basically bowing down to Kamala Harris and Tim Walz and kissing their ass left and right, making the headlines about them seem amazing while making the headlines about Trump seem disparaging and trashy and whatever. And it's the same conversation, but they let her, wear the crown on it and throw him to the wolves with it. But anyway, she refused to speak at the Bitcoin conference. Elon Musk spoke, Donald Trump spoke, numerous people spoke. Kamala Harris did not show up for that. She even refused to come to the National Association for Black Journalists event. Donald Trump showed up. Donald Trump showed up to the NABJ, which is, they got to come up with a better, shortening of that. The BJ part throws me off every time because I'm a child mentally and I laugh. Whatever. She did not show up. The black female president nominee did not show up for the black journalists. Again, wolf in sheep's clothing. That is what Kamala Harris is. She is not a black female. She's a female, sure, but she is not able and willing to do even the most basic things, the most absolute basic things that somebody running for the seat of the president should be able to do, which is talk to the journalists, which is go around and have open dialogue, open conversation, the way you and I do. I could run circles around that damn woman, and she's the one who's up to be the president of the United States. Yet she cannot have a conversation with anybody without a teleprompter or something in her ear or notes in front of her. She is scared shitless to be on her own. And what does that say about her if they let her, if they put her into the seat of the president? Anyway, let's get back to this. She travels with 14 members of the press, but she has yet to actually answer one question without a teleprompter. It has been almost a month since she announced she was running for president, which is funny. She didn't announce she was running for president. They told us she was because they took Biden off the ticket. The coup. Remember the coup? It just happened? The coup of pushing the current president off the ballot, and then he has been MIA since then, except for maybe twice. And then they threw her into the spotlight as the presidential nominee. Okay. All we've heard is canned speeches that she repeats over and over again that are read directly from a teleprompter. At every single rally, she's reading the exact same script. You can literally put all the rallies up next to each other and just sync them because she's reading the same thing over and over. The same inflection, the same tone, the same facial expressions, the same hand movements, the same everything. Hopefully she changed her underwear because that's gross, but everything else seems to be the same. The only policy, y'all, that she has come up with is one that she stole from Donald Trump. No tax on tips. And she stole it in the same place where he got the idea for it, in Las Vegas. The irony and the audacity mixed together is unbelievable. This is not a serious person or a serious candidate. Even Joe Biden, who was hidden in his, Okay, Insurrection Barbie, whatever you wrote here in the last one makes no sense. I'm going to read it the way it says it. Maybe my brain's not braining. Even Joe Biden, who is hidden in his to the more often than Kamala Harris. I don't know what that's supposed to say. I'm sorry, Insurrection Barbie, but you lost me on the last one. I don't know what that's supposed to say. Joe Biden was more upfront and talkative than Kamala Harris has been towards the end of his, whatever we want to consider either his presidential run or whatever. He even went off teleprompter, which is probably why they pulled him from the presidential ballot to begin with, because off teleprompter, that dementia was really showing. But you have Kamala Harris here now doing absolutely nothing. And I was going to say this, but we're going to do this right now, because wait, it gets worse or better, depending on how you want to look at this. Massive conflict of interest. Just want to put this out there. Massive conflict of interest. The host of next month's presidential debate, close personal friend of Kamala Harris and her husband. She also has she was also a Biden appointee and has been a major long-term donor to Kamala for years. This woman introduced Kamala Harris and Doug Emhoff to each other. She is the reason they are married. And she is going to be the moderator, or whatever you want to call it. This woman here, look at that with her. Whatever. It says Kamala Harris explained at a fundraiser in Dana Walden's Brentwood home, in many ways, Dana and Matt are responsible for my marriage. Kamala Harris shares a close friendship with Walden, a senior Disney executive whose responsibilities include hosting the upcoming debate between Kamala Harris and Donald Trump on ABC on September 10th. So not only do we have this debate on ABC, which is in litigation with Donald Trump right now because of all kinds of shit, and now you know for a fact that the person who's hosting it is also besties with Kamala. So do you believe that this could be a fair debate whatsoever? They are going to railroad Donald Trump, and they're going to do absolutely nothing negative towards Kamala Harris, but everything, they're going to put him like a shit fire over Donald Trump. It's going to be awful. And here's the thing. Donnie, he can withstand it. He will stand up there and he will combat everything they try to throw at him, and he will be able to articulate exactly what he has done, who he is, what he will do. And Kamala, it's going to be, like I said, crickets for Kamala. There's going to be nothing of substance there. She's going to hyena laugh. She's going to say absolutely nothing. She's going to make little faces and whatnot. And at the end, ABC and CBS and NBC and MSNBC and CNN, they're all going to be like, oh my gosh, Kamala won that debate. Did you see how enthusiastic she was and the vibe she brought to the debate? Bruh, like seriously? Seriously? She didn't want to do September 4th. She's only agreed to September 10th, which Donald Trump was not going to do September 10th. But in order to have a debate, he had to, because she was not going to do it any other way, because she knew that this is the only way she could do it, because they will have her back and they will rig it for her. Not only is I can't say that out loud because YouTube will smack me immediately. It's going to be interesting. That's all I'm going to say. I will be glued to the DNC, the Democratic National Convention. We'll talk about that later on exactly what's going to happen there, because horse and pony show. Well, horse because of Tim Walz, obviously, but it's going to be interesting. We'll talk about that one later. But I will be glued to the DNC August 19th through the 22nd. I will be glued to this debate on September 10th. And if Kamala does at any point in the next however many days, 2 months, decide to put on her big girl panties and sack up and actually do an interview, we'll talk about that afterwards, because there's no way it will be something that isn't pre-written, pre-scripted, pre-rehearsed, edited. No way. She would never go live. She can't. She doesn't have the gumption. She doesn't have the knowledge, the courage, the anything to do any of it. And this is the person they're like, she should totally be our president. Oh my God, I love her. No. That's it. Just no. Okay, so I want to just quickly apologize for not being here yesterday. A little personal note. If you remember the day before, I had a massive migraine and I was better yesterday morning, and then we went to brunch and I ate something that did not agree with me at all, and pretty sure I lost a pound or two, and my throat hurts today. That's all I'm going to say. It was not a good day yesterday. I'm still feeling it. I'm like sleepy and the stomach is still a little whatever, but we had to talk about these things, and there's more later. So thank you for everybody who checked in to see if I was doing okay. Went over to my husband's page to see if I was doing okay, since I wasn't here. I love y'all immensely. I appreciate you beyond words, and I will see you again later. Leave all the comments below. I want to hear everything you guys got to say. Okay, bye.